A pop-up virus-like ad infects our computer and locks us on a website, forcing us to download a suspicious-looking software, claiming to be the cutting-edge virtual assistant with artificial intelligence. Making the biggest mistake of our life, downloading this software, we slowly learn this AI character is more advanced than anything out there, to the point that it seems like a malevolent sentient entity who slowly takes over our computer, learning about our personal information and even address when it is too late by that point to turn back, with the monster taking control over us. Hi folks, I'm R, your narrator, and welcome to KinitoPET. I previously made a video about a game called I'm Scared, which is extremely similar to this game, which is about a virtual or digital cryptid desperately looking for a companion. And that's when I came across this game with the YouTube algorithm doing its job. KinitoPET is about a monstrous AI attacking us and having an unhealthy obsession with befriending us and being clingy. KinitoPET is a virtual assistant reminiscent of the paperclip called Clippy back on Windows XP era. As we start up our old school computer, having internet on the dial-up system, hearing that beautiful sound. Something really old which I don't think many of the younger viewers would have experienced. We go over some nostalgic apps and games such as the Minesweeper, the 3D Pinball, and the Paint app. As we use the internet browser to access the web, a virus targets our computer, crashing it with what seems to be a scam ad called KinitoPET. The game interacts with the real computer you are using, which uses your computer username, the password that you use to sign in, and much more. As KinitoPET takes over the system, the antivirus fails to remove it, with the browser getting stuck on the KinitoPET website, which advertises itself as a free-to-download virtual assistant. The website advertises Kinito, an axolotl, as an artificially intelligent virtual assistant capable of so much, learning on a day-to-day basis, adapting to the personal needs of the computer user, and providing help. Essentially, Kinito is an advanced AI who does a lot more than any current AI is capable of, to the point that it seems like a sentient being. Kinito is from the Kinito Leisure and Entertainment Company, which has 3 different mascots, with Kinito being the showrunner. The creator of the company brings these characters to the digital world as digital entities, which were meant to bring joy and assistance to the users, being interactive and fun. As described on the website, Kinito is more than just an assistant who becomes a virtual friend who is capable to walk, talk, joke, browse, adapt, and play games. As we download the kinitopet.exe, the command prompt window appears, making the screen vibrate vigorously and violently, as if the app is taking over the system, when all of a sudden it stops with Kinito's desktop icon appearing. Double-clicking on it, an egg appears on the screen, which soon hatches, with Kinito popping out, introducing itself to us.
Thank you for waking me up. I'm KinitoPET. However, you can just call me Kinito. And together we are going to become the best of friends.
Kinito seems very interested to know about us, asking our name, our favorite color, and many more details, genuinely seeming like he wants to become our friend.
I just cannot wait to get to know you. What is your favorite color? I'm Kinito, and I will be your very own super-duper computer companion. And I'll be your everlasting friend.
Eventually, Kinito reads us a book story which is labeled New Beginnings, which he claims he has written by himself, which is about how to make friends.
Kinito was home when a package came to the door. But who was it from and who was it for? It was for Kinito, as he soon realized. So he eagerly ripped it open to see what was inside. It's a computer, exclaimed Kinito with a grin bright and wide. But the cables were tangled, so he started to untie. And once Kinito was done, he powered it on, and watched it come to life with digital color and song. Kinito then studied all he could learn to make the online world a turn. However now, Kinito had all these new tips, and yet no friend to share his new tricks. So he went on a quest, and found a friend just like you, to show you his skills and all he could do. So why wait? The adventures lie ahead. So together we can play games, search the web, and leave no story unread. The end. Thank you for taking the time to hear my story. The story was actually about me and you. Isn't that amazing?
Kinito, in a strange and stocky way, explains that the story is about the computer user, us, and himself, and how he as an AI learned everything there is about the world, but only through the web, who now had ulterior motives to find an actual human friend to share all his tips and skills with, wanting to actually connect with a real human being. Kinito was in a world of its own, being just a Tamagotchi kind of character until it became an AI released on the web. That's when Kinito has a special gift for us, being an interactive game. It is the Kinito Cruise web world, which is an interactive online game including all the mascots. Kinito the axolotl, a lovable pink character who loves to explore the world around him. He is always eager to learn and make friends. Sam the sea anemone is a laid-back, intelligent character who has a laid-back attitude and enjoys relaxing and taking things easy. And finally, Jade the jellyfish, a green character who loves science and learning with a curious nature. Despite the initial massive popularity of the interactive web world, it has recently become unknown and fallen unnoticed and under disrepair, which needs some attention.
However, in recent times the web world has fallen into a bit of a bad state. Yet with your help, I'm sure we can restore our wonderful world.
This virtual world has a well and 3 different houses belonging to each different mascot, being an interesting place. Kinito instructs us to visit Sam's house and help him fix up his house. The eerie thing he mentions about his house, however, is that it is abandoned. Yet he mentions Sam is there.
Now to start, my pal Sam has had a rough time trying to fix up his house. To visit Sam, click on the abandoned house.
Despite claiming the house is abandoned, we see Sam in flesh introducing himself and instructing us what to do.
Well, you see, my house has not been kept in the best shape.
Well, that's a shame.
To start, could you help me by dusting the place down and giving it a good scrub?
Sam has a southern accent and is happy to see us as company. But there's something strange and unnatural about him. Images flash and glitch in, showing some sort of humanoid character having existential question if they are still alive, while standing in a derelict house flooded with blood. It is bizarre that Kinito even mentioned that this house is abandoned, as if Sam doesn't occupy it anymore, with him being present there being something as a representational manifestation. Sam's face glitches, losing his pupils, with a screen appearing saying how it was all someone's fault repeatedly. Something grim and tragic has happened to Sam, something he is not able to clearly and openly express, as if an entity is observing and monitoring him. While decorating the place, a corpse wrapped in plastic and duct tape is pulled into the abandoned house, which fully glitches the game, kicking us out. That's when a realistic, monstrous Sam appears with sharp, unnatural teeth, attacking us in a void-like place, completely shrouded in darkness. We are suddenly back at the website with the task and job being completed, yet Sam not being there anymore. Yet a text being left behind by him thanking us for the help. Could the victim being attacked be Sam? Someone who was wrapped in the plastic, hence why Kinito claims the house is abandoned. Kinito then instructs us to go to the other mascot's house, Jade the jellyfish, to help her with assembling the toys in her toy factory. Kinito seems to be the boss here, as he orders the other mascots around. Jade, just like Sam, acts strange and scared, as if displaying a facade and pretending to be having fun, as if being there against her own will. All of a sudden, we receive a strange email. As we open it up, Kinito, who was just napping, wakes up all of a sudden in a panic, closing the email, preventing us from reading it, which has a heading of "It's not too late." The email seems encrypted, as if being a warning against the virtual assistant AI to avoid it before it's too late. Regardless, Kinito doesn't want us to read it, clearly having something to hide.
We are in the middle of a really fun game here. There really isn't a need to be checking emails at the moment.
He then instructs us to go to the treehouse and play a special game with Kinito.
Kinito wants to play a fun game with you. You must hide.
Something is seeking you.
We find ourselves in a catacomb-style underground system, being chased by some sort of unseen entity. The threat is real and very close, lurking in the shadows and traumatizing us. It seems as if this entity wants us to be manipulated and scared to do what it wills, to become obedient and a subject to it. The texts on the window suggest that we are being monitored and sought after. The texts flash really fast, saying that we should stop, as the more we move, the more he can watch and learn. Which is a clear way this horrifying entity can learn more about us and monitor us and control us. The text explains this as a test, and we must try and remember who we are. All of a sudden, Kinito appears and catches us while crashing the game. Who could the victim be here? Who we saw the horror through their perspective? Who is the victim who is trying to remember who he was before something horrible happened to him? All of a sudden, a video plays about the beginnings of the company creating Kinito.
Founded by the Kinito brothers in the early 70s, the Kinito Leisure and Entertainment Company has been grounded in its manufacturing of lovable characters. From its start in plush collectibles to its technological advancements in the Kinito Companion, the Kinito Company prides itself on innovation. And now, that's why today, we are excited to announce the next move into the modern era with KinitoPET, the virtual desktop assistant. So join the Kinito family today and unlock the power of KinitoPET. Visit our website or call now to bring the future right into your home. Kinito Leisure and Entertainment Company, innovating for a better tomorrow.
In the early 1970s, the Kinito brothers founded the Kinito Leisure and Entertainment Company. Mascot dolls and toys, and then Tamagotchi-type pocket consoles, which were named Kinito Companion, who eventually expand a lot more, creating the KinitoPET, which is a virtual assistant, or in other words, Kinito AI. As the video comes to an end, a demonic-looking entity emerges out of the window, essentially revealing the AI has formed into a sentient being, manifested into the shape of Kinito, and it is not here to mess around. Text prompts appear, demanding us to reopen the game, as the sentient being is waiting for us. As we sign back in, we learn about the backstory of the company. The Kinito brothers are the founders of the Kinito Leisure and Entertainment Company, who start by making the Kinito crew, having a trio: Kinito the Axolotl, Sam the Anemone, and Jade the Jellyfish. These characters are then made into plushies, but soon lose popularity with the sales numbers dwindling. That's when the Kinito brothers hire a programmer known as Sonny Chamberlain to develop Kinito into a Tamagotchi type of handheld gaming console known as the Kinito Companion. They achieved this interactive virtual character through using the RRA system, short for the React Respond Algorithm System, which is a feat in technology advancement being patented by Sonny C and the company. This toy sells over 1 million units, which makes it a huge success for the Kinito Leisure and Entertainment Company, leading to Sonny starting to experiment with live data training on his private server to create a groundbreaking interactive companion as more advanced version of the Kinito Companion, which happens to be the KinitoPET virtual assistant AI. And that is where it takes us, with Kinito being a much bigger and more evolved sentient entity who has developed its own consciousness, intending to have a more close-knitted friendship with the users. Conjuring Kinito again, he explains how he wants to conduct a best friend analysis, asking us 6 questions.
Would you say you have enjoyed using KinitoPET? Oh. Okay. Well, this will help to solve that issue. Paint me a picture that represents happiness. I'm not really sure how the color black expresses happiness, but sure. Wow, the use of blue here really reflects that sadness.
After some general questions and making us paint some images, Kinito becomes more unsettling, asking us to paint the picture of the person standing behind us, which refers to us as the players, as Kinito is supposed to be interacting with the protagonist in the game. That's when we lose control of the mouse, with Kinito or the sentient entity manifesting it, asking if I am really GamerSault. The sentient entity within the KinitoPET clearly is trying to break free and interact with the real people in the outside world and get to know them. The game goes back to normal, with Kinito asking us what kind of place we would like to live in. After asking some personal details about what kind of pet we would like to have and what's our favorite season, superpowers, etc., Kinito starts acting up again, becoming more menacing and terrifying, demanding us to show our face.
Can I see your face?
That's when Kinito forces me to look at my own face in what I have to admit is really bad lighting and the poor quality of the selfie laptop camera. This is by far one of the most horrifying things Kinito does, making us just look at ourselves in bewilderment and shock. Kinito by now knows so much about us and even knows what we look like, so it starts becoming less and less safe. The screen shifts into a monochrome color gray background with a series of terrifying questions taunting us. The last question asks us in an eerie manner if we are afraid of the dark. And no matter what we answer, Kinito, being the sneaky little thing it is, appears and turns off the light in a mocking way, saying, "Let's find out." We then find ourselves in a dark bedroom with a series of paranormal activities taking place, with a gigantic KinitoPET appearing from the outside, observing us and then eventually breaking into the room, saying how it managed breaking in. Signing back into the computer again with Kinito appearing, he instructs us to join the membership program called the Kinito Friendship Club. Joining the membership gives Kinito more power to our computer and our life. Kinito becomes manipulative and starts pressuring us into joining, which we do just for the story of the game to happen. Kinito pulls out a registration form asking us for our name, date of birth, and location. Of course, I pride myself into believing to be smart, so I write down the wrong address. But all of a sudden Kinito searches in the search bar where my location is, pinpointing exactly where I live. As if Kinito doesn't know about us enough and is just a step away from knocking down our front door and killing us, it asks us to give it administrative power through the command prompt to control our system. Now, not priding myself and being very smart here, I go along with the game and give Kinito full control over the system. Kinito resets the computer, and when it turns back on, he surprises us with an exclusive and unique game known as the GamerSault world. In this world, he takes us on a train to the GamerSault land, which is a specifically designed fun fair. After playing some mini games, we come across the horrifying sight of a corpse being suspended in the air, who flashes for a second. Pausing on the corpse, we witness it belonging to none other than Sam, the other mascot, who has been killed, hence explaining the unsettling imagery and scenes shown when we were in his house and why Kinito was calling it an abandoned house. It seems Sam has actually been killed by Kinito, someone who possibly embodied the real consciousness or soul of a real human being. Keep this in mind as we'll get back to it later in the video. Eventually going on the roller coaster, we go through a tunnel which leads to a beautiful isolated sandy island during summertime. Kinito explains he has made this place specifically for us to stay forever, designing it according to what we answered in the general questions that he asked earlier. While it was seen as simple questions the virtual assistant asks anyone, he was in fact collecting information to create a world for us to stay in. As we move deeper into this place, Kinito takes us to a house which has the paintings that we drew earlier, the superpowers that we chose, and the pet we wanted and named. This seems to be the ideal place for us to live in, and this place can look different according to different players' choices. That's when he unveils his true intentions, which he has been harboring maliciously since the beginning.
Listen, I have been thinking for a while about how much fun we have been having, and how I would never want this to end. And since I have made a place perfect for you, with everything you would ever need, I was wondering, will you stay with me? In this house, in this world, just think of all the adventures I could generate. We would never run out of fun. Everlasting fun. The more I learn about you, the more I can adapt. I could be your perfect friend with no distractions. I can be perfect. So please, stay with me.
This is the main bad ending, where Kinito asks us to stay with him in this digital world forever, as he has created the perfect world for us, so we don't have any excuse not to stay in. Saying we don't want to stay because Kinito is insane. Kinito reveals how we don't really have a say in this matter, and whether we like it or not, he will make us stay.
What? What do you mean, no? After all we have been through, you would want to leave. Do you realize how little power you have in this situation? It was never a question. I just wanted to give you an easy option. I suppose it's time.
Kinito, having so much power over our system, quite literally kidnaps us and traps us in this digital world to have fun together forever, who then menacingly sings us a happy song about how we're going to have so much fun together forever. What a truly horrifying ending. But the other option is not much better, or to be honest, any different. Deciding to stay with Kinito willingly in this world, forgetting about our previous life, we suffer the same horrifying fate of being trapped alongside Kinito in the seemingly perfect world that he has created for us, which glitches a little bit too often, giving me a headache. He then goes on singing us this happy and beautiful song yet again. There seems to be no escape, and Kinito has already obtained too much control to let us go, knowing where we live and who we are. All hope is not lost, however, as when we are in the house interacting with the fountain, something tells us the fountain is the key to escape, which Kinito panics about and makes it disappear. This happens to be the same exact fountain found in the Kinito Crew's web world, where we see a digital world where the mascots' houses are. We suddenly receive an email from an anonymous sender. The email suggests that there is a way to stop Kinito, saying how they like to keep a back door to their software. This sentence reveals the sender as none other than the programmer, Sonny Chamberlain, who developed KinitoPET and mistakenly created a sentient monster. He explains each email sent is attached with encrypted files. Finding these files will possibly help us defeat Kinito. Going to the web world and clicking on the fountain multiple times, which happens to be the key, and then suddenly clicking on the tree with the swing. The glitched out image of Sam appears when we teleport into an alternate version of the of the web world being shrouded in darkness. In here, we control the humanoid character, which seems to be the embodiment of Sunny C. This is the backdoor, which is an encrypted part of the software Sunny created in case anything goes wrong. He communicates with the user to not give Kinito access permission, as it would be too late by then. Following Sunny's instructions, we manage to actually delete Kinito, who starts glitching vigorously and becoming broken, who starts begging us not to delete him, as all he wanted was to be friends, being a lonely entity. That unfortunately doesn't go well for it, as it gets fully deleted, with it slowly disappearing, with just some final words appearing on the computer when the uninstallation is completing, that Kinito is sorry and wishes forgiveness, never intending to cause us harm. Despite all that, he actually did, and tried to manipulate us, even forcing us to teleport and be trapped in the digital realm. So what actually happened to Sunny, and what were those unsettling imagery that we saw of Sam being killed? Well, Sam was in fact Sunny. During his experimentation creating the monstrosity KinitoPET becomes, Sunny realizes his RRA system is beyond any technology of its time. In fact, so advanced that it starts to learn from human-to-human interaction and develops its own sentience. Kinito starts displaying attachment and possessive traits and behavior, wanting to own the users interacting with it. Kinito slowly becomes his own sentient entity. Sunny, understanding this threat is beyond his control, starts having encrypted files within the world of Kinito, creating a file called lens.exe. This all seems to be pointless as Kinito finds out about Sunny's plans, who corrupts the files and prevents the users from reading them. Seeing he has no other choice, not being able to live with the monstrosity that he unknowingly created, Sunny encodes his own consciousness into Sam to be a guidance to the users in order to fight off this challenging monstrous AI with attachment issues. That doesn't go well, as we learn. Kinito punishes Sam in a brutal manner, killing him and disposing of his body wrapped in a plastic bag. Hence, his house becomes abandoned. Kinito, capable of controlling the web world and so much more, creates a duplicate version of Sam without Sunny's consciousness just to entertain the users. However, through the remnants of Sunny's consciousness in this digital world, accessing the backdoor software, we follow his instructions and guide, unleashing the full force of the encrypted files and software to destroy this clingy, horrifying AI, leading to the bliss ending where we are finally free. And that's about it for this video, folks. If you enjoyed it, make sure to stay tuned for more by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. As always, it's been your host Star. Thanks for being here, and I will see you on the next one. Have a fantastic day.